Okay, we are finishing our slope-intercept lesson today, and we're going to talk about getting y alone. When you get y alone, anytime y is by itself, it's slope-intercept form. So we want to always be able to graph. In order to graph, it needs to be in slope-intercept. We need to know what the y-intercept is, and we need to know what the slope is. So when we get slope-intercept form looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. Notice y is by itself. Y is all alone. That's our goal. Most of the time y isn't going to be alone, so you need to get it alone. Okay? So to get y alone, the first thing you do is move the x term. The second thing you do, you're going to divide everything by what is in front of y. So we've done this before. We've solved for variables. It's definitely more advanced, but you guys were rocking it, so I'm sure you're going to do great with this. So again, what I want it to look like is like this. So notice that my x term is to the left of or right after the equal sign. Right? So I need to move this 8x, and I want it to be in front of the 12. So I get 4y is equal to 8x plus 12. Can I combine those, yes or no? No, they are not like terms, so I cannot combine them. So that's the first thing. Second thing, divide everything by what's in front of y. What's in front of the y? 4. So I'm going to divide this by 4, this by 4, this by 4. Because algebra is all about remaining balanced and equal. So what I do to one thing, I need to do to everything. That cancels it out. And I get y equals, what's 8 divided by 4? 2x. Plus 12 divided by 4 is 3. Is my y by itself?
Yeah.
Yes. So now I can be able to say, okay, this is, what is the 3? B, which is my y-int. And what is this 2? Slope. You don't have to. Your expectation today is not to, but I want to connect with what we've previously done.
So you do that and just leave it like that?
You leave it like that. 8th grade standards, you're gonna wanna make sure to get y by itself, because they're gonna ask you tons of questions about slope and y-intercept. So you want to be able to figure out what the slope is. Notice, if we did this, if we left it as 4y minus 8x equals 12, and I said, what's my slope? What would you assume right away? Maybe the 12? You might say 12 is your slope. Was 12 actually my slope? Not at all. So you need to make sure that you get y alone before you identify the slope, or y-intercept. Yep.
I'm confused.
I'm getting y by itself?
No, like, when you did like plus 8.
That's opposite. Because imagine if we had 4y minus 8 equals 12. How would you solve for y? You would add 8 first, right?
Yeah.
That's where it's coming from. You always do the opposite. Okay, so negative 2y plus 5x equals a negative 10. What do I need to move first? Look at the steps. What do I need to move first? 5x. This is plus 5x. How do you move plus? Minus 5x. So I'm going to put that right after the equal sign, because that's slope-intercept. So then I get negative 2y equals negative 5x minus 10. Do you agree with that? Now what do I need to divide by? Negative 2. Divide everything by negative 2. It looks so ugly. Yeah? Right? It looks so ugly. That's okay. That cancels out. And I get y equals, A negative over a negative is going to be positive. Negative over a negative is positive. What's 10 over 2? 5. Yes, it still looks ugly, but slope it's actually easier as a fraction because you can visually see the rise over run. So this 5 would be my y-int, and this 5/2 would be my slope. Up 5 over 2, up 5 over 2, up 5 over 2. Singing that slope song that you all do, okay? All right, I'm going to have you try the next one. All right. So what I'm going to do is move your x term. This is plus 2x. To move plus, I minus 2x. It's got to go right after the equal sign because slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. The x is right after the equal sign. So now I have negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 12. Now I'm going to divide through by a negative 3. Divide by a negative 3, divide by a negative 3, divide by a negative 3. That cancels. I get y equals positive 2/3 x, positive, negative over a negative is positive, plus 12 over negative 3 is a negative 4. Would the MCAs have plus a negative as an answer choice? It would be minus. Y equals 2/3 x minus 4. All right, this one looks confusing because I have this. It's confusing enough as it is. Your homework is going to have ones like this, if you can see. Notice I have nothing on that right-hand side. It's the same thing. You just start moving things over. So I move my 8 term over first. How do you move the plus 8? Minus. So minus 8 to both sides. Quick. Okay. That's me minusing 8. And I can go 0 minus 8 because they're like terms. 0 and 8, they're both part of the integers. Now I need to move my x term. This is a negative 4x. To move or get rid of a negative 4x, I'm going to add 4x. That needs to go right after the equal sign because my goal is slope-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. This is a negative 2y coming down. Some of you might not be able to see that, but when you minus 2y, it's really plus and a negative. So this is negative 2y is equal to 4x minus 8. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. This is about as hard as it's going to get in your homework today. Y equals 4 over negative 2 is a negative 2x. Minus 8 over negative 2 is a negative 4. Is the MCA going to have it like that?
No.
What does this turn into? Y equals negative 2x plus, right? When you minus a negative, you plus 4. That's it.